Every empire before Greece was built on order. From the god-kings of Egypt to the massive bureaucracy of Persia, the recipe for success was simple: silence, obedience, permanence. But Greece was built on conflict. It was a collection of city-states that hated each other almost as much as they loved their own independence. It was messy, it was violent, and it was loud. And yet, this chaos sparked the greatest explosion of human genius in history. Before the Greeks, the world was a series of top-down societies. If you lived in the Persian Empire, you weren't a citizen, you were a subject. Truth came from the king, and the king got it from the gods. In these empires, stability was the highest virtue. Change was seen as a threat. Science and art were tools for the elite to maintain the status quo. It was a world of bronze and stone, magnificent but frozen. There was no room for the individual to ask, why? Geography is destiny. Greece is a landscape of jagged mountains and isolated islands. This made it impossible for one single king to rule it all. Instead, we got the polis, the city-state. In the Agora of Athens or the gyms of Sparta, something revolutionary happened: the birth of the citizen. For the first time, men sat in a circle rather than kneeling before a throne. They debated, they disagreed, they insulted each other's ideas. This was the Greek break. By removing the king, they invited the chaos of opinion. But in that friction, they discovered something. When you have to defend your idea against an equal, your idea has to get better. This freedom came with a bloody price tag. Because every city-state thought they were the best, Greece was in a state of near-constant civil war. Athens versus Sparta, Corinth versus Thebes. It was a meat grinder of hoplite warfare. The Greeks were addicted to argon, the spirit of competition. To a Greek, life was a contest. If you weren't fighting for your city's autonomy, you weren't truly alive. Why didn't they just unite and become one giant superpower? Because freedom resists empire by its very nature. When the Persian Empire, the greatest superpower the world had ever seen, tried to swallow Greece, they expected the Greeks to bow.
Spartans, prepare for glory!
They didn't understand that a Greek would rather die in a chaotic, free city than live in a peaceful, enslaved empire. The Greeks didn't win because they had more men. They won because they were fighting for themselves. But the moment the external threat was gone, they went right back to fighting each other. They valued their local freedom to be different more than the security of being one. This culture of debate didn't just stay in politics. It bled into everything. If you can question a law, you can question the nature of reality. If the gods aren't just angry, then there must be a logical pattern to the world. The phalanx was a machine of free men working in a lethal, coordinated rhythm. They turned chaos into a methodology. They didn't just give us democracy, they gave us the will to challenge everything. Every time you argue with a boss, vote in an election, or test a scientific hypothesis, you are acting like a Greek. So why does freedom create power? Greece was never a stable empire. It was a short, blinding flash of light that burnt out because it was too hot. But in that heat, it forged the tools that built the modern world. The lesson of Greece is uncomfortable. We don't grow in peace. We grow in the friction of different ideas. We grow in the chaos of being free.